look at, we are a threat discovery and cyber intelligence firm, and we do a lot of cyber research, and especially these sort of geopolitical topics. If you look at it, that has been one of our core strength anyway. What has started to happen starting from first week of June, we started to see a lot of frustrating statement being made on Mandarin speaking hacking community, where they were making a statement like, this is one nation who doesn't learn. We have to teach lesson to India. Those sort of very, very frustrating statement.
Okay.
And then what has started to happen is that has started to get built up as it went, and we have been monitoring those forums for a while now. What came out, especially on 18th of June, was very, very shocking to us. Cyber criminals actually listed out number of companies, government agencies, media houses, in fact, potentially saying that, well, this could be our first set of target.
Okay.
And we should be looking at defacing them. We should be looking at taking those websites down. We should be looking at running some sort of denial of service attack against those companies and those websites.
Mm-hmm.
And the portfolio of, actually, if you look at companies and as well as government agencies and media houses which came out in the list, which was a very, very exhaustive list which they came out with. It had number of smartphone making companies who are Indian by origin.
Okay.
It had manufacturing companies. It had construction companies into it, tire making companies. And then it went into, 3 at least government agencies, and they are very, very prominent, actually, government department.
Okay.
And what was very interesting was, number of media houses who were listed, and really the emotion was that, well, these media houses are always talking about India agenda, and they don't understand the real sort of situation here. So we should be them a lesson too. Yeah, so there's a number of them. Like, let's just start with what came out on 18th, Sunita. From press and media perspective, you had Times of India, you had Republic TV, you had NDTV, you had Hindustan Times, XTV, Aaj Tak, and Dainik Jagran.
Okay.
They were the. If you look at, like, from the corporate India perspective, you had Jio, you had MRF Tires, you had Sun Pharmaceuticals, you have Airtel, Cipla, Intex Technologies, Micromax, BSNL, like, humongous list. And what came out a bit later, which was really on 23rd of June, which was another big list. And under this list, they were really looking at actually literally targeting anything which is available out there. And this time, the motive was very different. The motive was really to exfiltrate data, which will have a wider impact on these organizations than just defacing their website. And some of those names were like Air India, Bharat Electronics, we saw TVS, we saw GVK, saw Hindustan Aeronautics, Wipro came up, Indian Oil was there. We saw Steel Authority of India, we saw Dabur being there. It's like, it's a huge list, and we have got a very technical report which we prepared, which we submitted to CERT function. Absolutely, Sunita. It has tremendously changed. If you look at it, what we were seeing in first week of June to what we saw on 18th of June to what we saw on 23rd, it's a huge actually jump in if you ask me, from cyber threat perspective. Has completely elevated to a different level. If you look at it, first week of June was all frustrating statement to what came out on 18th of June, which was really a defacement, causing reputational damage to organizations, to government agencies, to press and media houses, to where it went on 23rd was really exfiltrating sensitive information. What we have started to witness, of course, again, a lot of frustrating statement, a lot of taking a revenge kind of a statement. And of course, we notice frustration towards this particular decision. Right now, can we really say that this is related to the wider campaign which we have noticed. I don't think so. We are in that position today, but we
Okay.
continue to monitor, and these forums, truly they evolve as you go. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very sure we are going to be seeing something coming out on these forums where it's going to be going against, some of the national apps which we have got, or going behind some of the companies who produces those apps, or some
Right.
of the genius apps which we have got in back in India. I'm very sure the emotions are going to go towards them. Yeah, so we actually submitted reports 2 times.
Okay.
When we saw the first list which was being published and the motivation, we went back and we submitted the first report. Of course, we received a sort of note from the CERT function saying that, well, we are going to be taking all appropriate actions.
Okay.
And then immediately on 23rd, when the new list was published of
Mm-hmm.
target, we
Mm-hmm.
went back again,
Okay.
submitted another report which had a
Okay.
lot of details this time, and we were
Okay.
able to successfully attribute to some of those threat actors or
Okay.
hackers.
Okay.
We suspect that they are behind this, and it looks like CERT function went out and they came out with an advisory which was sent out to all the companies, government agencies who were in the list. So
Okay.
yes, the looks of it, they have taken all appropriate actions there. Yeah, so if you look at predominantly, like, these attacks, and especially these two groups where we have attributed this particular threat coming from, Sunita,
Okay.
um, these two groups are called, Stone Panda and Gothic Panda. These are two
Okay.
groups, hacking
Okay.
groups.
All right.
They have a great history of being associated with Chinese government.
Okay.
They operate under hood of PLA.
Okay.
Their infrastructure is spread among Shenzhen, Guangzhou, Chengdu, and Beijing. These
Mm-hmm.
are like places from where we have witnessed them historically operating from. But do not be under impression that these group only operate from these places. They
Right.
have got a wider set of asset across the globe from
Mm-hmm.
where they potentially actually launch these cyber attacks. You will
Okay.
rarely see these cyber criminals
Mm-hmm.
launching cyber attacks using their own assets or their own infrastructure. They always try to use hacked infrastructure, which they kind of potentially use to come under attack. You know, of course, we have been monitoring these sort of hackers for years now.
Right.
And if you look at the association of Chinese threat actors, they have a very close association with North Korean threat actors.
Okay.
And try to proxy North Korean threat actors to
Mm-hmm.
be on the front who will actually launch the attack on behalf of them. And
Okay.
imagine, Sunita, in North Korea, you do not have any other business. Cyber has become one of the business for them. And
True.
cyber crime has actually given them almost near about $4 billion in 2019. There
Oh,
is no
okay.
other business like that in North Korea.
Right. Right.
So everybody is very involved and they are out there offering themselves
Mm-hmm.
as a hacker, as a service, ready to take action, whatever target you give it to them. So of course they have got a lot of relationship going back to North Korea. They
Okay.
do have relationship with Pakistani groups of hacker, and these are all state-sponsored hackers.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there are some gray areas where we have also witnessed they being close to Russian groups as well.
Okay. Okay.
This could not be like state-sponsored groups from Russia, but these are all hacktivists who are also like looking out for money. And of course, Chinese hacking groups or PLA has got a lot of money to pay, and these guys are ready to execute a job. There are a few things I want to highlight here, Sunita. One, I think we surely need a national cybersecurity strategy, which
Right.
is quite important because that is one piece which can glue everything together. And
Right.
once you have a national strategy, you need to have a very clearly defined policy and
Mm-hmm.
a process. And of course, government, at least in last couple of years, we have seen government has been working aggressively with a lot of other supporting agencies to build those, but we are not ready yet, right? That's the problem. And you're facing one of the most advanced cyber warfare country right now. You've got like, to focus towards how can you build your cyber resilience infrastructure. How do you spread the awareness? Like, awareness is also quite important, actually, vector, which we should be focusing on. Looking at cybersecurity controls, I think we need to have a cohesive view of cybersecurity controls, and some we should figure out to marry up, like, an intelligence-driven kind of a posture, which traditionally, I'll tell you, a lot of actually nations, a lot of organizations miss, because they're looking at just event-driven kind of approach. Something happens, I will react to it. Instead of that, we have to turn around our approach and look at it. How can we get leads from somewhere and take corrective actions before something happens to us? I think we have to move towards that.